How do we make sure what the tenant tells us is actually true? Well, it's called tenant vetting, and I'm going to give you 5 or 6 things we do behind the scenes to make sure that prospective tenant is what they say. Number 1, we make sure what they tell us on their application matches their socials. If they tell us something like we've been out of the country for 6 months, yet we see last week they were partying down in Mooloolaba, that's a big red flag for us. Number 2, if they give us references and we can never contact that reference or that reference never calls us back, that application goes in the bin, period. Number 3, they tell us they were renting privately, not through a real estate company. So we find out the address of that property and we check their records to find out who owns it to make sure that the person they tell us to call is the actual person that owns it. Number 4, TICA, the Tenant Information Centre of Australia. This is a legal blacklist, and in fact that's what they call it if you Google it. This is for the worst of the worst. If someone is on TICA, that's not just for a late payment here or indiscretion there. That is because they have been perpetually late, they haven't paid their rent, they've left the property in a mess, they've used their bond to cover their rent, all sorts of reasons. So to get on TICA means you are a very bad tenant and we will not rent to you under any circumstances. And number 5, we call up the previous real estate company that had them on their books and they speak highly of that tenant. That's all. See you all next week.